The Dogs, in association with the British Greyhound Racing Board.
Hello and welcome to another edition of The Dogs. On tonight's programme we've action from the Mike Allen Trafalgar Cup Final at Oxford, a visit to the kennels of new Walthamstow trainer Mark Wallace, and a review of the first round of the William Hill Springbok. And it's Wimbledon where we start, and the biggest crowd of the year so far turned out for the heats of the Novice Hurdlers Championship. We'll be analysing every single heat here on The Dogs, with some illuminating head-on shots. We begin with Heat 1, and a member of Seamus Cahill's 10-strong Springbok entry, Farlow Star. A warm favourite to win his heat, this former top-class dog on the flat had impressed in trial stakes and now ran from trap 2 in the event proper.
The 1-2 favourite in trap 2, Farlow Star, and away okay as they jump over the first. All trouble there. Brunel's Kingdom's been knocked over. Farlow Star was hampered. Meantime, up front, it's Lordsbury Dust leading the way down the far side ahead of 6 Trojan Flight, who was forced to check slightly at the first bend, making a bit of ground. Also, the bottler. Then comes Farlow Star. They race down towards the second last bend. Good jumping from Lordsbury Dust coming in towards the rails. No room for Trojan Flight. Badly hampered. Also, the bottler hampered. Farlow Star moves up into second, but it's Lordsbury Dust that's going to win here. Lordsbury Dust jumps the last safely by 4 lengths from Farlow Star. Back in third, the bottler.
We didn't have many races as a pup, but he was marked awkward a couple of times, so we chose to jump him. He's been a natural jumper ever since, but no, he's run really well.
And find improvement next time, do you think?
Hopefully so. We'll have to wait and see.
Said he jumped, didn't I?
The owner?
Yeah. Knew he jumped straight away.
No,
He's
a natural
fantastic,
jumper,
and
isn't he?
I'm over the moon. That's the understatement of the century. We're very, very pleased, aren't we, mate?
From traps you can see how Farlow Star almost came to grief as the reserve Brunel's Kingdom cut across him at the first hurdle. Nevertheless, a good winner in Lordsbury Dust. Heat 2 and the anti-post favourite Druid's Mickey Joe, also trained by Seamus Cahill, the fastest Springbok entry after a 28.19 trial stakes win. He ran from trap 3.
As they dash away up towards the first flight here, best away is Robbie in trouble. There is a little bit of trouble on the inside involving Druid's Mickey Joe in 3. Trouble there at the bend for Knowledge in 4 as they head down the far side. Now Robbie in trouble, challenged by Druid's Mickey Joe. Facing up towards the next, it's Druid's Mickey Joe by 2 lengths. What a good jump there from the anti-post favourite, and another one. Druid's Mickey Joe by 4 lengths here from 6, Robbie in trouble. 1 Bright Eagle squeezed its way round into third. After this comes Rockmount Gale, but as they come up towards the last flight, Druid's Mickey Joe jumps it so well, wins by 4 lengths. Robbie in trouble second, Bright Eagle third.
Again from the traps we can see Druid's Mickey Joe looking for the rouse from trap 3, but he eventually gets clear of the inside runners before launching his challenge round the bend and then down the far side. 2 trap 3s already successful. Killeen Tom now ran from the white jacket, having only come into the Springbok at the 11th hour as the 37th quickest hurdler, but he took his chance well.
And they're off and racing up towards the first flight, and 5 Firebolt went in straight towards the rails, and 6 is showing pace up Jimmy Point 7. They've jumped the first 2 flights safely. In second place at the moment is Killeen Tom. They're leaving behind Taipan in third. Facing up towards the next, and it's 6. Jimmy Point 7 leads and took a little bit of time getting over that flight, and 3's closing now. Killeen Tom, they come around the third bend. In fact, Killeen Tom is in front now by half length from Jimmy Point 7. Racing in second, then comes Taipan. They come off the final bend, and Killeen Tom jumps the last well and wins by a couple of lengths from Jimmy Point 7 and Taipan in third.
Most of the field here looked for the outside, and Killeen Tom took a real bump before turning the bend in second. It was a gutsy performance from Gary Baggs' dog, who might just be one to upset the big guns.
I was very impressed with him, when he popped out in front and then he got headed and came again nice and strong, no problems.
but can we expect improvements?
Hard to say. You know what hurdling's like. One mistake and you're gone.
So a busy Wimbledon Saturday. Fun for all the family, of course. And winners wherever you looked. Some had the best seat in the house. Wimbledon's a great place for birthday parties. How old? And a heaving Broadway restaurant giving the perfect view of the racing. Back on track, Heat 4 featured a clash between Lenson Royal and Cormona Dave, both seen as live Springbok contenders. Lenson ran from all-conquering Trap 3, Cormona Dave for Tommy Foster from Trap 4.
Fast starts from Lenson Royal and Cormona Dave, and away they go. We're the Biz trapped out best and over the first light leads only momentarily. Here comes 3, Lenson Royal to go on though. Lenson Royal goes round. There's trouble at the bend there between 1, Snazzy Blue Boy, hampering 4, Cormona Dave. They're facing up towards the third flight, and 3, Lenson Royal with a 3.5 length lead over 2. We're the Biz in second. A further 3 lengths back to 1, Snazzy Blue Boy. They go around the second last bend. The 5-4 favourite, trained by Seamus Carhill. Lenson Royal leads here by 2.5 lengths from 2. We're the Biz trying to close over the last. A good jump. Lenson Royal wins by a length in the end from We're the Biz in second and Snazzy Blue Boy third.
Looking for the hare early, Lenson Royal definitely moves wide from Trap 3, forcing Cormona Dave out before cutting the bend to lead his field. Ray Peacock has a strong hand in this year's Springbok and certainly had a strong hand here in Heat 5 with no less than 4 runners. Could they really be the first 4 home?
And they're off and running and racing up towards the first flight. 1 of 10 breaks fast, hops over the first in front of Baron Mandinka. Here comes Arbor Jack rushing up on the outside, going around the first turn. Not a clear run there for 1 of 10, but Arbor Jack gets a good sighter and goes on. Arbor Jack leads. Quiet progress from Greenacre Tom, goes into a clear second. Then comes Baron Mandinka. They hop over the next, and it's still Arbor Jack with a lead here of about a length over 1, Greenacre Tom, but the writing's on the wall because Greenacre Tom is strong and takes over at the 4th bend. 1 flight to be jumped. Greenacre Tom powers home. It's a 1-2-3 for Ray Peacock. Greenacre Tom are winning here from Arbor Jack and Baron Mandinka.
One of the cleanest races of the night, it truly was a triumph for Peacock, with Greenacre Tom leading home Arbor Jack, Baron Mandinka and 1 of 10 in by far the fastest heat of the night. The last heat saw another Seamus Carhill runner, Druid's classic lineup a favourite, a 5-2 chance from Trap 2, but Limited Blue was also fancied.
And they're off and racing up towards the first flight. Stumbling out of the traps was Druid's classic. It's Steam on Vieri in 5 leading, but here comes Limited Blue. And Limited Blue takes over that bend from 5, Steam on Vieri. After these comes Musgrave Aussie making a move. Handy is 1, Lockbow Rush. Heading down the far side as they jump the first from the far side. Limited Blue jumping well, but great pace here from 6. Musgrave Aussie looking at danger around the third bend. Pops its head in front. There's Musgrave Aussie. Limited Blue's trying to respond. After these comes Steam on Vieri. Oh, bumping on the inside. It's going to be mighty close. It's just Trap 5. Steam on Vieri from Musgrave Aussie and Limited Blue.
It would be the closest finish of the night, but another success for local handler Carhill. Steam on Vieri ran well from 5 here, after which the trainer himself ran the rule over his runners.
Carlo style done well, had a bit of luck to qualify after being lucky to stay on his feet early on, but then Drew's Mickey Joe ran nicely without doing anything over and above what was required. All the dogs had a nice easy week before this event, and they can certainly improve.
You say Druid's Mickey Joe just ran sufficiently well enough. What do you mean by that?
Yeah, well, you know, in the sense that we took him away to Walthamstow and Reading, and that Richard Birch on the Racing Post might have thought he was we done that for a particular reason. We didn't. It's only just we wanted to get experience for the dog, and he was capable of taking on the best, and we couldn't run him all out at Wimbledon. We were trying to pick, and he was the best dog to go outside, and at this stage he is still the dog to beat, don't have any doubt about that.
That man Birchie did the draw for the semis, and Charlton's #1 fan drew Trap 4 for Druid's Mickey Joe. But he remains a warm order in the sponsors' prices. Druid's Mickey Joe goes in the first semi-final where he clashes with Greenacre Tom. But with both looking for the rails and pace inside, it just could be interesting. Heat winners Lenson Royal and Colleen Tom face a mouth-watering clash with Farlow Style and Arbor Jack in the second semi-final. While in the third semi-final, the weakest of the three, connections of all 6 dogs will fancy their chances. Remember, the first 2 qualify.
Richard, what caught your eye tonight?
Greenacre Tom, you had to be impressed by him. I mean, he's come from behind and beaten a very good dog, I think, in Arbor Jack. Ray Peacock's had the 1-2-3 in that race. I thought Arbor Jack would win the race. I've backed him anti-post. I'm a little bit disappointed at this moment in time. Greenacre Tom looked the better dog on that occasion.
Yeah, Arbor Jack had no excuses really, did he?
Not really. There was a school of thought early on that the wides might have been at a slight disadvantage, but I don't really subscribe to that. No, I think he's got beaten fair and square. Maybe there's a little bit of improvement to come, but I'm hoping through my pocket.
Jack's not done for. I mean, he's we've got a little bit of weight to come off him. He's going to improve throughout the competition. Tom, he's a really, really good dog, and I think they're both potentially really top-class hurdlers.
They're both drawn in quite tricky semi-finals.
I don't think so. I think they'll both win their semi-finals. I think they're both going to come on a bomb from this run tonight, and we feel very confident to win both semi-finals.
Go on then, Ray, got to push you. Which one?
Tom's got a hard draw, but I think, I don't know, I really don't know. I just hope they both get to the final and they get 1 and 6. It'd be great.
Semi-finals of the William Hill Springbok take place on Friday, live on Channel 425, with the final on Sky Sports on Tuesday, February the 15th.
Coming up after the break, we're off to the Lake and Heath kennels of Walthamstow new boy, Mark Wallace. Well, welcome back to part 2 of the Dogs, and we begin with the £1,000 Mike Allen Bookmakers Trafalgar Cup final at Oxford over 450 metres, a race restricted to pups. The favourite on the boards was the well-exposed All Four Paws. And they're off and racing up towards the first bend. Good start here from 2, Camp Bugler. Also at the pace on the outside is 5, Shelbourne Nino as they go around the first turn. A little bit of jostling going on as 3, Vancouver Sparky rushed up into second. But look at the pace of Camp Bugler. Already 3.5, maybe 4 lengths clear of Vancouver Sparky, a clear second as they come around the second last bend. Camp Bugler by 2.5 lengths from Vancouver Sparky back in second. After these comes Shelbourne Nino up the home straight. Nothing's going to catch Camp Bugler making all to win the Mike Allen Bookmakers Trafalgar Cup. Well, a great win there for Albert and Barry Draper, collecting the Trafalgar Cup with Camp Bugler, who'd won a puppy final at Bellevue recently, and is a half-brother to the kennel's useful open racer, Farlow Hack, and a swift time as well, 26.72. On to Coventry now for the Alan White Winter Derby, 3 semi-finals coming up, and the favourite of the first one was the Charlie Lister trained Bell Devotion in trap 4 at 2-5, looking so impressive when winning in the first round heats, beating kennel companion Farlow Verdict in the time of 29.32. Well away was Bell Devotion, showed good early pace around the first 2 bends and went scampering clear. A little bit of jostling in behind. Queen's Circle didn't get a clear run in trap 5. A Legal Move ran a fair race in second place here in trap 3. Ran a much better bend around the first turn than 4 Cure Joy in trap 1. But Bell Devotion looking impressive here and sauntering home in the quickest time of the 3 semi-finals, 29.07, beating Legal Move by 6 lengths. Canimar was sent off favourite for the second semi-final of the Alan White Winter Derby for Charlie Lister, of course a winner of the Birmingham Cup at Perry Bar recently. Lockteen Flyer was second best for Johnny Faint, winner of the Essex Vars, running from trap 5. But not getting a great start was Lockteen Flyer, but Canimar was out and gone early on. But keep your eyes on trap 4, Horse Whisperer here for trainer Pam Dolby. There's only a length between them at this stage and they're running away from the others. As they come down towards the third bend, Canimar loses his stride pattern just at the third bend, and this gives trap 4 Horse Whisperer every chance to go on and win in this race, but started to have a look himself, Horse Whisperer, off the final bend, and although he'd made no contact, was certainly waiting. A winner there for Pam Dolby in a moderate time of 29.52. The third semi-final, and the favourite here was Farlow Verdict, sent off at 2-5, back for more Coventry prize money, of course, winner of the Lady Godiva Oaks the back end of last year for Charlie Lister. And a good start here from Farlow Verdict, who pinged out of the boxes, ran middle up towards the first bend. Nice pace from Mineola Yank in second place there in trap 5, because it was left standing as the traps opened, but showed good pace and had to cut in towards the bend for trainer Michael Harris. But Farlow Verdict, just too classy for this field, goes home and wins really easily in 29.24, beating Mineola Yank, who staves off the challenge of Lonely Hunter around the final bend to qualify in second place. So 2 out of 3 for Charlie Lister on the night. And looking at the final that takes place at Coventry this Saturday, £3,000 to the winner. Canamar's drawn in trap 2, Farlow Verdict in 3 and Belle Devotion in 5.
These are the kennels in Suffolk where Linda Jones has sent out winners left, right and centre in recent years. Just a stone's throw from the RAF airbase at Laken Heath, it's been all guns blazing from the Jones camp for a long while now, and the message from the new boss Mark Wallace is that it's business as usual. Because of ill health, Linda passed on the licence to her son-in-law Mark, who for years was her head man and assistant trainer. Life now for Mark is no longer just looking after the likes of Ronnie's Flight and Lethal Rumble, but overseeing the other aspects of the business, the paperwork and race entries. One such entry which excites the kennel is Foreign Dancer's bid for the Ladbroke Golden Jacket at Crayford. A top-class bid, she was due to run in a trial stakes for the jacket at the Kent track earlier this week and looks a leading contender for outright honours.
We left her quite well out of season before she came back, and she come back with some nice trials, and Walthamstow graded her in an S1 and she ran very, very well. We picked out the Perry Bar race for her as a sort of first open to come back, and she was very impressive indeed. So, I mean, the plan with her at the moment is to sort of take one competition at a time, so starting with the Golden Jacket. Hopefully if she can do well there, we'll then sort out maybe the TV Trophy or any other races that come along after that.
Mark, of course, is now the contract trainer at Walthamstow, and the next major competition there will be the Ladbrokes Arc, for which Fireheight Dan, Greyhound of the Year, will be favourite. Mark's a big fan.
I think Fireheight Dan is a magnificent dog, and I'm really pleased for Mick Hughes and all his staff, how well the dog's done for them, and it thoroughly deserved all the awards that it's won. But we've got our own dogs, and hopefully we can give it a good race. Burn Park Honcho is a really good competition dog. He's done some fast times around Walthamstow. He could go well. He's having a trial round Walthamstow in preparation for it this week. Scarton Ragleash is a lovely dog that has been a bit of a talking dog over the last year or so, but has had his fair share of problems. He started to run very well again and is having his trial stake on Tuesday in preparation for the Arc. He could go very well. And also a dog that's been running and winning quite a lot of races around Walthamstow is Sion Rock, and he's got magnificent early, and we're expecting a big run from him as well. So yeah, we've got plenty of ammunition for the Arc this year, and I'll be disappointed if we don't get one of these dogs through to the final.
The current kennel star, however, is the hurdler Lethal Rumble, who's just one win away from equalling El Tenor's record of 11 straight open race wins over the sticks. Where's he next?
Well, he'll race on Thursday at Walthamstow. Hopefully that'll be, can notch his 11-timer. We may well take him for the hurdle race on Springbok final night, and also there's apparently a nice competition coming up in March at Perry Bar, which he's already won a £750 race round there a couple of weeks ago on the Sky Camera. So yeah, there's plenty for him to go for, and it's not all about records and everything. It's just nice to see the dog keep winning and producing the goods. So he's doing very well. We're very pleased with him. We have treats for him here.
Feeding time at Shea Wallace means only the best. The menu offers all the usual canine fare and helps keep a team of open race and graded runners well fed. There's always hungry mouths to feed with a kennel of 80 dogs plus. It's all about preparation and diet, with additional vitamins and minerals used where required. pups especially need looking after, and Mark suggests a few youngsters to follow in the coming weeks, some already known to open race fans.
January Tiger was second in the Futurity last Monday, and he looks an interesting dog. He could well be a really strong dog who in time could go over the trip, but for the time being we've got a few to go tomorrow more for the puppy derby. January Tiger, Courage Boy, we're going to definitely enter him for that, and he's, as we've said, a dog with tremendous early, could go very well. You do need a top quality dog to win it, but at the moment Courage Boy would be our leading greyhound for that one.
But one of the best bits about our visit to Laken Heath was seeing Linda Jones up and around, and all at the dogs wish her well in her battle to get back on track.
Right, Linda, everyone in greyhound racing really wants to know how you're feeling at the moment.
At the present moment in time, I'm not feeling too bad, but I do need to get some problems sorted out. I'm actually under Adam Brooks Hospital at the moment, and they're just doing some more tests, and I go next week for a scan on my neck. So it'll get sorted out in the fullness of time, and I'll be back.
It must be quite depressing at the moment not being able to do the job you love.
That's right, it is depressing. It's, when you get out of bed in the morning and, you think, oh, I've got to go to work. That's just not me, because there's been nothing like getting over here and sorting out the dogs, and, and you really look forward to every day. But the last few months it's been hard for me, and I haven't been racing because, I can't do it both ends of the day. And then it just got to the point where I didn't want to get out of bed in the morning, and I said to Mark, I must get myself sorted out. And I've got no worries about Mark taking over, because he does the job. He's good.
She's not been well for quite a while, and to be honest with you, I've just done the best I can for her, and now the licence is in my name. Hopefully I can carry on all the good work that the kennel's done over the last few years.
Maybe a year or so when you want to come back, would you want to get the licence back off him?
That's going to be a bit of a problem, I suppose. I'll have to dynamite it off of him. No, I don't think Mark and I ever have any problems like that, because, as I say, I've got 100% trust in Mark and Mark's abilities, and, we'll always work together.
All things being well, Imperial Kennels will have runners in the Opens at Walthamstow on Thursday. As we glance through the forthcoming events, there's also Opens at Milton Keynes, Monmore and Reading. On Friday there are Opens at Henlow, Romford and Sunderland, whilst Wimbledon stage the semi-finals of the William Hill Springbok. Highlight on Saturday is the final of the Alan White Coventry Winter Derby, whilst Poole stages the semi-finals of the Golden Crest. Other Opens at Henlow and Hove. On Sunday, Bellevue join the fray, staging an open race programme along with Coventry, Rye House and Sittingbourne. For all your information on greyhound racing, click on to www.thedogs.co.uk. Live action back next Tuesday on Sky Sports with the final of the William Hill Springbok.
The Dogs, in association with the British Greyhound Racing Board.